Hey guys, Zen here, welcome. Now if you're a regular viewer here on the channel, well then you probably really like cooking up spicy decks, battling and collecting cards in Pokemon Pocket. But maybe you're also getting a bit tired of the stale format and really annoyed at the lack of rewards in-game. If so, well then today's video is just for you. Whether you're getting burned out by the current meta, tired of the lack of in-game incentives, or maybe you're just looking to scratch that itch for competitive Pokemon TCG gaming. Well, I got you covered because today I'm going to show you why you should definitely give Pokemon TCG Live a try. Whoa there, before you click off and say, I can't understand this game, it's too complicated, stop it. Give yourself some credit. You already play Pokemon Pocket, which means you understand more than 90% of the in-game mechanics of TCG Live. So if you give me just a little bit of your time, I can better help you understand that remaining 10% that you might find confusing, all while showing you a game that is so free-to-play friendly that it honestly might make your head spin. Well, since we're on the topic of free-to-play, let's start there. You literally can't spend any money in Pokemon TCG Live to get cards. Instead, you get cards from actually playing the game. Wow, what a concept. Oh, and the amount of cards and packs you get there are insanely generous. Just from downloading the game today, you can get all these freebies, from cosmetics to full arts to even Golden Crown cards. This game's got it all for collectors and competitive players. Oh, and yeah, that is a crown rare candy, and it's glorious. Oh, and did I forget to mention that you can play this on either desktop or your mobile phone, which means you don't even need an emulator to run this. Okay, so that's great and all right, but I don't know how to build a deck in this game. Well, not to worry, I made a brand new account to show you guys that they don't start you off with one free starter deck, not 2 free starter decks, but they actually gave me 11 free starter decks right here. And these are all competitively meta starter decks. Yeah, I know, pretty insane, right? So you can start the game off and test out any of these starter decks to find the ones you like, and then start opening packs to then crafting the cards that you want to include in those decks. Speaking of crafting is so generous in this game. Honestly, I got nothing else to say, but just let me show you what I mean. Crafting Pokemon cards in this game uses trade tickets, which you could find up here, the golden tickets. And again, I want to tell you guys, I didn't play any games. I might have played one, I genuinely can't remember, but essentially made a new account and they started me off with 4,000 trade tickets and 4,000 trainer points, which we'll talk about in a second. Let's go back to the trade tickets. How do we craft cards that we're looking for? Where you can do it in 2 ways. You can do it from your deck builder, or I'll show you the card decks where you can go here, find the set that you want to open for or craft for. I'll do Scarlet and Violet to showcase this. Find the card you want to craft and just hit exchange. It's just that easy. Oh, and the pricing, this is what's going to get you guys. If this doesn't like, oh my God, I don't know what will. For a regular Pokemon card with a circle rarity, the rarities are a bit different in this game. It's only 40 trade tokens. You hit confirm exchange, done. I got it. Let's say we want to do a diamond card right here. This is the rarity. Exchange, only 100 trade tokens. Sure, why not? Let's do it. I got plenty. All right, what about a star, you guys? What about something like a Meowscarada? Surely that's expensive, right? Exchange, 400. The game started me with over 4,000. Okay, sure. Let's do that. Confirm. Why the heck not? All right, and now the rarity you guys are probably mostly excited for to hear about. An EX Pokemon or a 2-star, a 2 black star. Again, the rarities are a bit different here. Let's exchange and see how much this is. 600, you guys. This is, in this economy, it's crazy. So yeah, I'm just going to do this. Why not? Because I have plenty. It's also important to note that you could do this from your deck builder here. If you just go there, you could click edit deck. You can do any of these. You can exchange by adding them and then clicking this in exchange, and it'll exchange it for you and just add it to your deck. But now let's talk about that other currency, which is trainer points. What do you use this for? Mainly you use it for things like your battle pass. You could use, I believe, let's scroll all the way up here. Let's say I want all of these rewards. I can exchange. You know what? Let's do it. This is my alt account anyway. Let's exchange. 10 tiers unlocked. And now I can collect all these things from my battle pass, which I could have already collected if I just played the game, right? So let's hit collect all and see what happens. 300 trade tokens, all these amazing full arts, 4 packs, more full arts, 300, and then these giant boxes that come with all of these cool things. I'm going to collect all the rewards here. I'm going to hit collect all. so we can see the end result. Wow. Did I get any bangers here? Let's see real quick. All these new cards. Fantastic. An EX right here. Whimsicott EX. That's pretty cool. But my main account, I pretty much already have all these cards, right? So I made a new account to show you guys what is this? Bro? Oh my God. That's crazy. I don't even have that on my main. Oh, that's pretty. Actually, I might. I don't know. That's crazy. That's pretty cool. But all these cards, a full art Hilda right here. And then if we go down here, because this is a new account, all I get is 5 trade tickets for a circle. However, for the stars and the EXs that you get multiple of, you quickly start generating a lot more trade tickets, but we'll talk more about that in a bit. So that's one way to use your trainer points. The next way that I'm going to show you guys after it repopulates right there for my tokens is the shop. You go to the shop here and they have a bunch of bundles that you can just click on and take things. I have a lot more, so I might end up using it. You could, they have a lot of really cool stuff. Packs, I believe have also cosmetics you can get, sleeves. It really just depends on what you want, right? 15 packs for prismatic. It really just depends. Speaking of expansions, you click on this one. You could find the exact expansion you're looking for by scrolling down here. I'm showing you mobile. Desktop might be a little bit different, but the locations of everything I'm showing you are exactly the same. Let's say I want this one, right? Twilight Masquerade. I can do this right here, or I can do this one right here. I'm just going to do this one right there real quick. Confirm exchange. And there we go. I just got everything right here. So all the new cards just added to my set. I got this card, which we'll talk about in a bit. I don't want to confuse you guys just yet, but here we go. So I already have all the EXs that I could possibly need. So getting any extra Teal Mask Ogre Puns will automatically convert to 150 of this, which is fantastic. It just adds on to that. And there we go. That is a quarter of the way to a brand new EX, which again, it might not sound like a lot, but it's way more than what we get in Pocket, guys. And now let's go to the redeem section. And well, I know I said you can't spend any money in this game, and I may have slightly fabricated that. In essence, you can't actually spend direct money into this game to get packs. However, there are many trusted sites such as PTCGO store, where you can go and purchase codes in bulk that will be emailed to you, and you can redeem those codes. A lot of IRL vendors, I guess, open packs but don't use the codes, and instead they sell them on sites like this at prices that may shock you. The newest set boosters are being sold in bulk for 50 packs, so you get 50 codes for only $8.50. So like I said earlier, the economy of free-to-play nature of this game is kind of nuts, especially if you end up spending for like, I don't know, 100 packs for less than $20. Well, more than likely, you're also getting a ton of trade tickets from multiple card copies from that set, which you could then use to craft for the cards you want, all at the fraction of a cost of a 10-pack in Pocket. All right, this is all great and all, but now we have to talk about the elephant in the room, and that's the actual gameplay differences and the mechanical changes from Pocket to TCG Live. Let's start with the deck sizes in Pokemon TCG Live and the card types that you may not be familiar with. Well, to start things off, you have 60 card decks in Pokemon TCG Live, and a maximum number of copies a card can be in your deck are 4. Now, sometimes the cards that you're probably already familiar with from Pocket are basic Pokemon, including babies. Yeah, they're in this game. Stage 1 Pokemon with abilities. Even Stage 2 and EX Pokemon are in here. Trainer cards in the form of items, as well as supporter cards are in this. However, there are a few other newer trainer cards that you might not be familiar with. So let's hop into those. Starting with stadium cards. These are trainer cards that can really impact the level of gameplay you're experiencing. Only one stadium can be in effect at any given time, meaning if you have one in effect and your opponent plays a stadium, that means you have to then discard your stadium and your opponent replaces the stadium in play. And these cards had effects to the entire game field, right? For example, Artisan right here says once during each player's turn, that player may search their deck for a basic Pokemon that doesn't have a rule box and put it on their bench. So meaning no basic EXs, stuff like that. And both players can activate this. Like I said, stadiums impact the entire field for both you and your opponent. Next up are the A-Spec trainer cards. You could tell if a card is an A-Spec card because, well, it says A-Spec right here on the side, but also it's like pinkish red. It's the only card with this hue. Now, very important things about this is you actually can only have one ace spec in your deck. See right here, only one, meaning you can't have a max copy of 4. Because of that, these trainer cards typically end up being pretty strong. For example, Maximum Belt here says attacks used by the Pokemon this card is attached to do 50 more damage to your opponent's active EX Pokemon. And that's only one ace spec. There's a bunch of them in this game. And finally, energy cards. Unlike Pocket, the standard TCG requires you to include these cards in your 60 card deck in order to power up your Pokemon to battle. With that being said, there is no limit to energy cards, meaning you could have as much or as little as you need in your deck. Now let's talk a bit more about Pokemon cards specifically, using Iono's Watch Roll. Yeah, there's trainer Pokemon in this game. Now looking at this card, you'll notice the typing is up here, the attack is here, HP is here, pretty much everything is the same. Even the retreat costs are going to be down here. The thing that I want to talk about are weaknesses and resistances. In this game, Pokemon have resistances, and Watch Roll here has a resistance to fighting types, meaning it says fighting minus 30. So when it takes a attack from a fighting type Pokemon, it'll take minus 30 damage. So if something is hitting for 20 or 30, you'll actually receive 0 damage. If they're hitting for 40, you'll take 10 damage, so on and so forth. And weakness in this game is also a little different. Instead of taking an additional 20 standard damage, it is a multiplier of 2. Now what that means is, if our Watch Roll here takes 30 damage from an opposing lightning type, well, that's actually 60 damage and we would get knocked out instead of the regular Pocket weakness formula of being only 50 damage and you still surviving, which leads to a knockout and your opponent taking their first prize card. Well, and that takes us to the next and final part of today's video, and that is the in-game battle mechanics portion and how they differ from Pocket. First of all, you're not just told if you're going first or second. You get to flip for a coin, and if you win, you get to choose, do you want to go first or second? The winner of the coin flip chooses. I'm going to say heads here, and we'll flip a coin and see if we're going heads. Awesome. I'm going to go first because there are a couple things going first. It's important to explain to you guys. It's very different from Pocket, but also slightly the same. So we're going to go first, and our opponent is going to go second. Perfect opener right here. I have no basic Pokemon in my hand. My opponent does. This isn't like Pocket where you're guaranteed to get a basic in your hand. So what happens is I have to shuffle my hand back into my deck and draw another opener and hope I have a basic. It looks like I actually had to take 4 mulligans. This is to the extreme. This doesn't usually happen, but honestly, it's a great showcase. Now, because I had to take 4 mulligans in order to find my first basic Pokemon, my opponent will have the option to draw 1 through 4 extra cards to start on their first turn on top of the cards they already have in their hand. So let's do this. There we go. We found our first basic. Pay attention. My opponent has 6 cards in their hand. I'm going to put 1 guy down here, the only card I have, and I'm going to hit done. We take our 6 from the top of our deck, put it into our prize. Our opponent has this many cards. I guess they only chose 2 to draw. And the match is about to begin. How do you win in this game versus a Pokemon Pocket? Because Pokemon Pocket, you just need 3 prize points. Well, here you need to either get all of your prize cards into your hand. So pretty much whoever draws their last prize card is the winner, as long as they do it first. Or if your opponent draws their entire deck and has no more cards to draw, well, they lose. So that's 2 ways of winning right there. So on my first turn, you'll notice I have arrows on certain cards like my trainer cards, but I can't use any supporters. In Pokemon Pocket, going first, you can use supporter cards, but in this game, you can't. Now, if I started with an energy, I'd be able to show you guys that you can actually attach energy going first, which means going first in this game actually feels good because I will still also be able to evolve first before my opponent. But I'll just use Nest Ball real quick, which lets me go into my deck, get any of these and put them on my bench. I want to put Cleffa here, even though I won't be able to actually showcase this. If Cleffa was in the active spot in Pokemon Pocket, a baby with 0 energy can attack turn 1. You are not allowed to attack at all. Going first, you are not allowed to attack. Even if there was a Misty in this game and I high rolled, no. The only thing you're allowed to do is attach energy, use trainer cards, fill up your bench, which I guess we can do some more with Buddy Poffin. A lot of these cards you might not understand, but all it takes is reading them once. You'll understand it that way. And that's pretty much all you can do. If we had an energy, I would also attach an energy. I'll end my turn here just to see what the opponent can do. They attach an energy, and they also play a stadium card, which flips a coin. I actually don't even know what this does. They got a heads, which means they get to draw basic from, okay, that's fine. I'm pretty sure we're okay, and we're going to showcase what this deck can do and how Pokemon TCG Live differs. For one, I think my opponent is doing so much right now, and I feel like it's not adding to the, complexity of this game. Again, I'm testing my deck. This is the AI, so the AI is going to be quick. They're going to do everything they can. All right, it's back to my turn. I'm going to explain what they just did. What they just did is they used all these cards. However, it's in a specific sequence. Think of Pokemon Pocket, how you often go for a Pokeball before research, sometimes research before Pokeball. That's essentially sequencing your cards in your hand to get the most out of your deck. With a 60 card deck and a lot of cards that search for specifics in your deck, sequencing is very, very, very important in this game. For example, right now I can sequence into evolving straight into this guy and taking out their basic Pokemon, but I need to do it in the correct order. For example, I could just Arvin right here. It finds me a rare candy and a tool. It'll find me an item and a tool. However, if I do just the rare candy into Charmander into Charizard, well, then I'm missing things. I'm leaving them on the table that I could also use. So I'm going to show you how I would sequence this. And this is where the complexity comes in. It'll take time. And this is the part of the game that I really enjoyed the most. And thankfully, we're going up against AI, so we can take as long as we want here. I'm going to go Arvin, correct? I'm going to get my rare candy, and I'm going to take one of these tools. It really doesn't matter which tool I go for. Let's go for the Ace Specs, right? Now, instead of evolving my Charmander, I'm going to Ultra Ball and get rid of 2 cards from my hand, being these 2 cards. And I'm going to get Pidgeot EX. The reason I get Pidgeot EX is because they have a really cool ability. I'm going to rare candy, and I'm going to evolve my Pidgeot EX right there. After Pidgeot has evolved, I can activate their ability, Quick Search, to then find another card from my deck, which again, searching your deck is a fantastic thing to do. We're going to get another rare candy, because why the heck not? I'm doing what my opponent did, but I'm explaining it. And now I'm using rare candy to evolve my Charizard onto the active, who also has their own effect, Infernal Rain, I believe, which lets me find 3 fire energies and attach them to my Pokemon in any way I like. And look at that. We attack for only 2. So I'm going to confirm here, attach 2. The next one can go, let's put it on this Charmander. It doesn't even matter, right? Maximum Belt, because why not? This only affects us for the EXs if they have. And then we could also use Mesagoza here. Sure. I'll flip a coin. Like I said, stadiums affect both players. We get tails, of course we do, just like Pocket. And then I'm going to swing here and get my first prize card, right? I'm going to swing for 180. Now, a lot of you guys are like, yo, that's crazy. That's busted. But I could have only potentially had a Charizard EX instead of also having a Pidgeot if I didn't sequence correctly. So that's one of the biggest differences about this game is a lot of people are like, oh, this is chess and Pocket's checkers. It's only because with Pocket, you have less need for sequencing or as many cards to get the effects that you need. So now we get to pick any of our prizes. I'm going to pick number 3. I always like going in the middle, and we end up having an Iono right there. But that's the AI. Oh, you also have emotes here, man. That's kind of funny. But that's pretty much it. The only real thing that I wanted to show and share with you guys about battling mechanics, you're not guaranteed to start with a basic. If you don't start with a basic, you mulligan, and your opponent can draw that many times you mulligan extra cards from their deck. There are 6 prize cards. Once you draw all your prize cards, you win the game. Also, one thing I forgot to mention is EXs. They switched me out. EXs cost 2 prize cards, just like Pokemon Pocket. Instead of prize points, they're prize cards. You can do things differently for going first versus going second. You can attach energy going first, but you can't use a supporter, and you can't attack going first. Going second, you could do all those 3 things. However, going first allows you to evolve first, and that's where this game really gets spicy. But that's pretty much it. As a Pokemon Pocket content creator and player, I really also enjoy TCG Live, and I would love it for you guys to, maybe try it out, because something tells me you'll also really like it if you like deck building and if you just like playing Pokemon card games. Now, again, you don't have to do anything, but if you're looking for even more help, well, you can check out my other channel where I'll be uploading a starter guide for every single starter deck in Pokemon TCG Live, as well as covering the new Mega Pokemon set to drop later this month. I am so excited, which is also another real reason why I want you guys to get in on this, because Mega Pokemon aren't just coming to Pocket, they're coming to the official TCG as well. And man, oh man, am I not gonna miss out on that. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching all the way through. Let me know in the comments, type giraffe. Let me know that you watched the entire video by typing giraffe. Don't forget to like, hype, and subscribe. Hopefully I see you guys on that channel if you're interested. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next Pocket video and maybe TCG Live. Later.